She walked out of the boutique like she'd just survived a war. Shopping bags in both hands, designer sunglasses hiding the pain of her own choices. You see, when the money mindset is wired for spending, not building, it turns luxury into a burden. That 20,000 Indian rupees dress? She thought it was a bargain. But that's what happens when your money beliefs aren't rooted in reality. They blur the line between value and vanity. She wasn't just spending money. She was trying to buy a feeling, a false sense of abundance masking a deep subconscious money block. It's wild, really, how people confuse having money with understanding it. The financial psychology behind this is simple. If you've never trained your brain to evaluate worth, your wallet becomes your worst enemy. Real millionaire habits aren't about splurging on 10 outfits. They're about knowing which one pays off over time. Someone with a wealth mindset would have asked, "What does this purchase do for my future?" Instead of, "How good will I look on Instagram?" And that's not judgment. It's just the brutal truth most people avoid. The irony? Even rich girls can have a scarcity mindset, it just wears prettier shoes. Spending blindly is often just insecurity in disguise, dressed in luxury labels. People talk about retail therapy, but how often do they realize it's just a distraction from inner emptiness? Want a shift? Start journaling your expenses, not for budgeting, but to understand your emotional triggers. This is how you reprogram your mind for wealth, not by cutting cards, but by cutting illusions. And speaking of illusions, the next scene brings us face to face with another common trap disguised as innocence. The moment she stretched out her hand for money, again, it wasn't about 5,000 Indian rupees. It was about the silent patterns repeating in her money mindset. Ever notice how some people always seem to need help, while others quietly multiply what little they have? That's not luck. It's financial psychology. The constant asking, the emotional dependence, it stems from deep-rooted subconscious money blocks learned early on. It's the belief that money comes from others, not from self-worth or strategy. And the one giving, you could see the irritation bubbling under her breath. Generosity turns into resentment fast when it's not matched with responsibility. People with a strong wealth mindset don't just give, they teach. Instead of handing out 5,000 Indian rupees, imagine offering a side hustle idea, a skill course, or even a budgeting app like Good Budget or an app. Because let's face it, without rewiring the rich versus poor mindset, that 5,000 Indian rupees will disappear faster than it was handed over. It's not about being stingy. It's about being strategic. Here's the thing. When your beliefs scream scarcity, even abundance slips through your fingers. If you want financial freedom, you've got to stop romanticizing survival. That starts with asking different questions. Not, "Can you help me again?" but, "How can I create value?" Watch any self-made millionaire and you'll notice this pattern. They don't beg, they build. And speaking of building, what happens when someone dares to build their dream in a world that doesn't quite get it? She sat beside her daughter, eyes soft but voice firm, cutting through the noise of tradition. "Not everyone's meant to follow the same script," she said. It wasn't rebellion, it was wisdom. See, when someone dares to dream differently, like launching a YouTube channel, they challenge the money beliefs drilled into us for decades. A financial freedom mindset doesn't start with a paycheck. It starts with permission. Permission to choose your own game. And that shift, it often takes just one person to believe in you before you believe in yourself. The mother knew what most don't. Millionaire habits begin in moments like these. When you realize that building your own brand can earn more than a job ever could. But it's not just about going viral. It's about creating consistent, valuable content. Channels like Ali Abdul's or Lavender's didn't blow up overnight. They built trust, audience connection, and income streams. The daughter may not have seen it yet, but her mom had that wealth mindset, that rare ability to spot potential where others see risk. And isn't that what separates the rich versus poor mindset? The poor mindset demands safety. The rich one seeks growth. One fears failure. The other learns from it. When you reprogram your mind for wealth, you stop asking, what if it doesn't work? And start asking, what if it does? And just when she began to imagine this new reality, life threw in a little chaos. A sudden twist that reminded everyone how quickly things can change. Everything was going fine, until it wasn't. In a split second, chaos hit. Someone screaming, people panicking, and a hand in serious trouble. It's funny how quickly life flips. One moment you're chasing dreams, the next you're chasing a doctor. But here's the deeper layer. Situations like these reveal our money mindset under pressure. Emergencies test what we've built. Those with an abundance mindset stay calm, they've planned, saved, prepared. Those with a scarcity mindset panic because they've never been taught how to protect their wealth or their health. In comedy, we laugh at the madness. But in real life, a medical emergency without a financial cushion can wipe out years of progress. It's not just about money, it's about mental peace. People with a financial freedom mindset don't just think about income, they think about insurance, savings, and safety nets. Tools like emergency funds, health coverage, or even apps like Plum or Policy Bazaar aren't glamorous, but they're part of millionaire habits. Because wealth isn't loud, it's quietly responsible. And then there's the drama. The friends running around, someone fainting, the late doctor making a grand entrance. All hilarious in the moment, but underneath, it's a lesson in what happens when you're reactive, not proactive. When you reprogram your mind for wealth, you stop waiting for the storm to hit. You build before it comes. And just when things start settling down, the emotional roller coaster takes another turn. This time, straight to a forgotten birthday, she waited all morning. No calls, no texts, not even a happy birthday from the group chat. For someone used to attention, the silence hit hard. But here's the thing, wealth without connection feels empty. You can have all the luxury in the world, but if your money mindset equates love with gifts, you're bound to feel alone when the wrapping paper's gone. That's not sadness. It's a subconscious money block quietly whispering, you're only valued for what you have. And then, boom, the surprise party. Friends jumping out, laughter, lights, and homemade decorations. That moment, pure abundance. Not in money, but in meaning. This is the shift, recognizing that a true wealth mindset isn't measured by price tags, but by presence. A pizza night with genuine friends can feel richer than a five-star dinner with fake smiles. People chasing financial freedom often forget. Emotional wealth is a real currency too. But don't get it twisted. There's still a rich versus poor mindset playing beneath the surface. The poor mindset waits to be celebrated. The rich one creates moments worth celebrating. You don't need permission to feel joy, to build your own tribe, to throw your own party. When you reprogram your mind for wealth, you stop relying on external validation and start owning your space. And as the music fades and the candles melt down, something even more grounded begins to stir. Something warm, real, and homemade. The smell of masalas filled the kitchen, laughter echoing off the walls as everyone chipped in. Rolling rotis, chopping sabzi, arguing over salt. No fancy caterers, no table setting for Instagram. Just real food and real people. And honestly, that's peak abundance mindset. Because cooking together isn't just about saving money, it's about creating shared value. You start to realize, millionaire habits aren't always about investments and income. They're about presence, generosity, and grounded living. There's magic in simplicity when your money mindset is aligned. A home-cooked meal can nourish more than your body. It feeds your beliefs. In a world where everyone's hustling to appear successful, the ones with a true financial freedom mindset slow down to enjoy what they've built. They value experiences over expenses. You see it in the way they pour chai for a friend or laugh while flipping a burnt roti. It's wealth, just in a quieter form. They've learned to reprogram their mind for wealth by shifting from hustle to harmony. And look around, this is how legacies are built. Not just through stocks or properties, but through bonds, through shared effort, through trust. The rich versus poor mindset isn't always about net worth. Sometimes, It's about how you make people feel in your presence. Scarcity isolates. Abundance invites. As the night winds down and stories are passed around with the Tao, you realize, maybe this was the real celebration all along. So, what kind of mindset do you carry every day? Are you unknowingly stuck in a cycle of scarcity, thinking money is always just out of reach? Or are you starting to see that real wealth isn't about what you spend, but what you build, how you think, and who you become in the process? Every scene in this video held a hidden lesson. From emotional spending to creating your own path, from seeking approval to finding real connection. But here's the catch. None of it matters unless you apply it. What if you paused right now and asked yourself, where are my subconscious money blocks holding me back? What if you started replacing them with millionaire habits? One small decision at a time. If this story made you laugh, reflect, or feel seen, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with your family and friends, because sometimes one video is all it takes to spark a mindset shift in someone's life. And if you're serious about leveling up your money mindset and creating financial freedom, then go ahead, subscribe, turn on notifications, and stick around. This is just the beginning.